Hey guys, thanks for watching Elise Makes a Bunch of Videos. Today I just wanted to make a video a little bit about sort of equality in terms of like gender equality. As a side note, the last International Women's Day, when I was looking around online, I saw a bunch of things like posts like, oh, International Women's Day, cool. And then like any sort of post about things that could be improved or sort of cultural ideas that don't support the equality of men and women. You know how it is. There's just like a lot of stupid people commenting about whatever, this and that, and I said something about how women need to learn to not be afraid of men violence or something, and it was like, okay, cool. So I'm glad that we're like all just sort of victims, helpless little damsels in distress. That's a good thing to promote on Women's Day, although it was definitely like supposed to be like, yay, women are great and they shouldn't be afraid of things, but it was like in a way of like, but it's not up to women to change, it's up to everyone else. And I feel like that's a lot of things with not just gender equality but other equality things. It's like, oh no, it's not up to me to change, it's up to the entire world that doesn't experience whatever it is that I'm experiencing to understand that I'm having this problem and to fix themselves so that my problem is gone. Like, there's just something fundamentally wrong with that attitude when it comes to any sort of equality, like gay rights, transgender, blah 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 blah. Also, so many people who were like, why is there International Women's Day, we're ignoring transgender people? And I'm like, make a transgender day. That's not what this is about. If you identify as being a woman, then be part of International Women's Day as like all of the other people that are women identifying as women can all be involved with. And not just be like, oh, well, I'm supporting trans, and if I support women, it's against trans. What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense. Anyways, sorry, that was just a side note because I got into some argument with someone about that. Yeah, so I just think that there's this sort of responsibility shrugging thing, and I just hate people who pass the buck when it comes to responsibility and ownership of actions. Like, it's your life to live. It's not everyone else's fault. Obviously, some people have different experiences, which lead them to think that everyone is racist and sexist and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. But I don't know. I think generally, I actually just don't believe in changing the cultural mindset. I know a lot of people are about that these days. People are waking up to things. People are changing their mindsets and da 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 da. And it's like, I don't think that's true. I think that there's just more outlets so that you're able to find more people who agree with exactly what you think. And so you think people are changing their mindsets, but really you're just finding more people who think what you think. So you think that it's going into a better direction. And even like if you've changed your mindset, like for me, I've done a lot of reading and learning and stuff like that, and I have sort of changed my mindset a little bit in terms of a lot of things in my life. But at the end of the day, I did not grow up in a house that thought that races and sexes were one superior to the other. And I think there are a lot of people out there like that who just don't understand the people who were in those environments growing up. And it's 10 more celebrity endorsements telling people that women are equal or whatever. I don't think that's going to change people's minds or actions, really, like, because their thoughts are going to be the same. They might even be more dug in because of this whole political divide silliness that people seem to think exists, where it's like, well, I'm right wing because I believe in God and and family, and and so I should just stay with God and the family and just sort of continue to believe what all the other people around me who believe similar things are saying and doing. So I don't think people really are changing their minds. I think it's just that people who are finally seeing others saying the same things that they are, especially in public media with like a lot of actors and stuff that tend to be pretty, as they call it, like left. I don't get it. Also, just politically, left versus right. Like, why does the left have to be pro women and pro gays, and the right has to be anti? Like, aren't they sort of like economic differences in the political parties? Why do they need to be social, religious sort of differences? It's just, I don't know. Are we in Northern Ireland or what's happening here? Like, I know I'm not an American, so I shouldn't comment on all these things, but like, what? I don't know. I just feel like, and I see, like a lot of people who are sort of more conservatively oriented, like they really do believe in more sort of like capitalist sort of economics, but they consider themselves left wing because they want sort of like human rights and no prejudices and like a more accepting society. And so they consider themselves to be left, even though they maybe don't agree with the economics behind it. So, I don't know. Maybe it just goes back to this whole thing where people think that just all money is evil and they just don't want to think about it. And if they don't think about it, then that means that they're good. But money is still going to exist. It's just like religion. You can say you don't want to talk about religion, but it still exists. It doesn't go away. So, I don't know. I think equality is one of those things. It's like inequality exists. We don't want to talk about it, really, other than the fact that it shouldn't exist. And then maybe it'll go away. Like, no, it won't. What are you talking about? That's not how it works. Yeah. So, really, I don't know what to say. I don't know if there's a solution. I think that it has to do with more just what you do as an individual rather than you trying to convince whatever 80 million other people that you're right. It doesn't matter how good your argument is. It doesn't matter how sound the logic is. It doesn't matter how many anecdotes and heart-wrenching stories and like even people who hate gay people, they meet a few gay people, right? And they go, oh, they're all right, those ones. Or racist people, like, oh, I met some people from other races and they were good and I like them. That makes me not racist. It's like, no, it doesn't. What are you talking about? You had a few exceptions, like those two are okay, but my opinion still stands. So, like, I don't know. I just think that people don't really change their minds because of other people. They change their minds because of themselves and their own decision to do that. And sure, they can be influenced by others, but, like, I don't know. I just think it's impossible to change cultural ideas as a society. It's like when people start talking about socialism and, like, yeah, man, we just need that revolution. We just need to reset the system. And it's like, what? We're still going to have the same problems, just under a different name and different people, and probably with a bunch of bloody garbage in between. Do you not know how these revolutions work? Anyways, this is a really long rant now, but I don't know. What do you think? Comment. Let me know. It's a weird topic that I can't, like, sort out in my brain, because obviously I want women to be sort of not a lesser member of society, but that's not how it is. It would be a lie to say that it was. So, I mean, in Canada, like North America, Canada, the United States, it's pretty good compared to other places in the world. But, you know, comparing yourself to others is not necessarily a benchmark, right? So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. People are dumb. Yeah.